Hey guys, Johnny from the Formcast, and today we're going to be covering some of the top sweepers from Generation 8. In this video, we're going to be covering some of the best physical sweepers, and in the next episode, if you want to see these kind of like ideas to help you build your teams and stuff, I think that we'll do another one on special attackers, maybe either later today or tomorrow, and I'll drop that soon. I know normally I've done 2 videos during the one each day on the weekend, but I was a bit busy yesterday and just couldn't get it done, so I thought why not we'll pump one out today, kind of give you a couple of little ideas to start building your teams with for Generation 8. So guys, we're going to start off with what I think is personally one of the best physical sweepers, which is Galarian Darmanitan. The idea with this is that you just kind of want to get you want to obviously have Zen mode. Zen mode is an essential thing because of the fact that it gets 135 speed and 160 attack. Imagine getting hit by something with 160 attack. It's a train wreck. So, as you can see, we got Galarian Darmanitan with, Ice File. So the idea is you want to run that substitute, get, you want to hit the sub, go into, hopefully substitute on something that you know that's going to scare them out. So for example, if you're fighting against a Pokemon that you know is going to want to set up Stealth Rocks or something along those lines, then you're going to want to bring in Darmanitan. When it sets the Stealth Rocks up or it wants to status you set up Substitute before it. Get yourself a clean sub that's going to drop you to 75%. Then go for the Belly Drum that's going to drop you to 25%. Salac Berry procs, you'll get you'll get yourself that speed boost, so you'll be to +1 times 0.5 speed, so you'll be at like 600, I think it is 607 speed if I'm correct. And then with that Belly Drum, you're going to be at about nearly 1,600 attack, I think it is, which, honest to God, nothing's going to really take a hit from that. I don't care what defenses you have. Attacking options, I've gone Ice Punch and Earthquake. You can run Icicle Crash instead of Ice Punch, but the issue is that I find that Icicle Crash has a habit of missing far too much for my liking. So I went Ice Punch, safe damage, 100% accuracy, not going to really miss. And Earthquake just hits everything Ice Punch can't really hit, breaking down those rock, steel type Pokemon, poison types. So I'm going to want to try to get in with you, and you'll literally hit so many things hard and get so many one-hit KOs. On a similar note, moving on to the next Pokemon is Ice-Q. Ice-Q works a very similar way to to the to Galarian Darmanitan, just without the power that Darmanitan has. So that Darmanitan basically outspeeds and produces a lot more power output. So the only benefit to this is you get 3 moves instead of 2 because of the ability Ice Face, which basically means that the Pokemon's head functions as a substitute for physical attacks, meaning that if your Pokemon gets hit by a physical attack, it won't take damage. It's sort of like Disguise for Mimikyu, but with but only for physical attacks. So the idea is here again, you want to try bring it into something that's going to hit you physically, hopefully like a defensive wall that's going to be like, oh, I know what this thing does. It'll hit you with a physical attack. You can get your Ice Face breaks. You'll get that max speed. Then you're going to get that Belly Drum off. That's going to push you to nearly it'll be times 4. So it'll be nearly somewhere in the 1,000s attack as well. Ice Punch, obviously for stab, liquidation, and Iron Head give you good coverage. Sadly, it doesn't get a very good move pool as well, so I do think Darmanitan wins on that front as well. But, it's good because obviously it works similarly. You can run Salac Berry if you want, but I think 130 speed is already quite decent. But I do think the Citrus Berry is more beneficial because then you can get that health back and you're not in a bad state. Salac Berry does work though, but I think Salac Berry only procs at a quarter health, is it? Yeah, it's at a quarter health, which is why it's not very useful because you'll be when you Belly Drum, you'll only be at half. So Citrus Berry is probably like the better option of the 2. You could run Life Orb if you want or something along those lines, but I think Citrus Berry is probably the best idea. Again, just a reminder, make sure you put 4 in HP to make sure that you get an even number of hit points. I think it works as well at level 50 if you're doing it. At level 50, you can go without the EVs in so it depends on what thing you're running. So if you're running level 50 as well, not level 500, level 50. So yeah, if you're running at level 50s, I do recommend that you go that one point down and don't put any HP investment. But so if you're planning to play Battle Spot, then you know the drill, just run no EVs. But if you're playing OU and stuff, then make sure to put that 1. So moving on to the next Pokemon is Barracuda. This is one of these Pokemon that comes in and doesn't need the setup. You can Dynamax to get set up, but I know it's a really nice Pokemon. So basically, Barracuda, looking at its stats, 123 at physical attack, 136 speed, crazy powerful Pokemon with really good speed, 371 on the speed as well without Jolly. So this is adamant. You just want to chuck everything into its attack and try to get the most out of it. Life Orb, just so you can hit stuff hard. Swift Swim, in case with the Dynamax meta at the minute, you already know people are going to be chucking these these max geysers, I think it is, and that's going to cause that rain, so you're going to be able to outspeed a lot of Pokemon, whether it's you setting it up or them. Aqua Jet gives you that priority. Liquidation, best stab move that it's going to get. Close Combat, honest to God, is so useful, because anytime something like a Steel type Pokemon comes in, you can just wreck it with a Close Combat. And Drill Run gives you some more coverage for other Pokemon like Poison types. But most of the time you're going to be clicking Liquidation and Aqua and Close Combat. The real benefit to Barracuda is the fact that if you Dynamax, Close Combat's going to give you +1 attack, and Drill Run, I think, lowers speed for the opponent, or it creates a Sandstorm, I think it is. So you can basically kind of adjust stuff. So if the opponent's using Pokemon that want to set up Drought, for example, then you can kind of Dynamax into Max Geyser and set up Rain, boosting your Swift Swim, and then Max Knuckle to get that extra attack as well, which is going to make you absolutely unstoppable if you start getting that as attack boosts. So moving on to another Pokemon, now we're starting to look at the more obscure Pokemon. These are my 3 outside shouts. These 3 are probably like the more main sweepers that you're going to find. But moving on, I have Phalanx, or Phalanx, however you want to pronounce it. Very nice stats overall. Great moves pool with and coverage. But I think this Pokemon's very situational, I guess is the term, because it's got really good attack, great defense, good solid speed at 75. Not crazy, it's not going to outspeed 90% of the metagame, but going with that jolly nature, and the idea is you just want to use No Retreat, which boosts all stats by 1, but obviously you can't switch out. This is definitely a late game kind of sweeper where you know that you can take anything out that he's going to bring in if you get that +1. Close Combat, meaning that you're going to get you're going to get those boosts if you Dynamax. Going to get that Max Knuckle. I can't remember what Rock Slide and Iron Head do stat wise in the Dynamax form, but it's definitely a nice moveset with Close Combat. You can just break a lot of walls with that. Stab, plus the ability Defiant, which means if they're going to lower your stats, fighting stuff off like anything with Strength Sap, it's going to really be quite useful, because obviously, yeah, you're healing them more, but they're boosting your attack, which means that eventually you're going to get close to murdering anything that's going to come in. Sadly, his usable move pool isn't the best, but he does get good moves that you can use. So Rock Slide, meaning that you can take out those flying types that are going to be a pain in the arse to you, and Iron Head gives you that coverage against fairy types as well, so you can basically hit those two weak points in Phalanx is really like quite decent armor, especially with 60 special defense, that a lot of Pokemon that come in like fairy types and flying types might be quite special. So definitely fairy types being special though, flying not as much, but it's definitely an option that you need to kind of consider with those weaknesses. But with No Retreat and getting that plus speed as well, plus attack defenses, you're really going to be in a good position to really try to take stuff out. I think running it speed wise is probably the best, but you can run it HP wise as well if you want to be that guy. So moving on, I have Obstagoon. Obstagoon I covered a little bit in the Corsola video as a great Corsola counter, but you can run it both defensively and physically. In this set, I'm going to be teaching you how to do it physically more than defensively. Again, Assault Vest, Guts, it's the same item set, but with different EV spreads. So instead of putting it into HP and defense, you want to be putting it into attack and speed. Going with that jolly nature. Dynamaxing is quite useful here because of low kick, giving you that Max Knuckle, and you're going to get that plus attack boost as well. And you can run either Guts or Defiant, which will be really useful. Defiant, obviously, if you're going to, it depends on the kind of person you want to be. Defiant means that you're going to get, get stats for any time your stats are dropped. And Guts is going to give you, if you get that status, you're going to be you're going to be sorted. Especially like for stuff like Corsola, which I said that Obstagoon is probably one of the better counters with knockoff and throat chop. So I've been running knockoff, throat chop, gunk shot, and low kick, which means you can hit Pokemon like steel types or like Copperaja. That's been quite common now, and that Pokemon is super heavy. That low kick is going to do loads of damage. Gunk shot can hit fairy types, which are going to be one of the main threats to you. Throat chop gives you good stab, and knockoff, just again giving you that option when fighting off things like Corsola that really want to be a nuisance with their Eviolite. But Obstagoon's really good because it's got really good like ability options where you can pick and choose what you think is more beneficial for you. And my final Pokemon that I'm going to cover is Stoneur. I'm not sure how you really pronounce this. I say Stoneur. I don't know. I know it's wrong, probably. Please feel to correct me in the comments. But Stoneur is kind of one of these Pokemon that's very niche. But if you get it to work, it's quite cool because you can Rock Polish, which means that you're going to be at nearly you'll be at nearly 500 something odd speed, which is really quick. And with 125 physical attack, 200 and making it 383 physical attack, and super good defensive and HP, you're going to be quite good to take on anything that wants to hit you physically. On the special side, you're a bit off because you're on 20s, but the idea is you want to focus Sash, Rock Polish, and pray that they don't have priority, and then just Stone Edge. Obviously, good stab. Accuracy is a bit questionable, but you could maybe run something else. You could run Rock Slide or something like that, but I think Stone Edge is quite useful. Heavy Slam, because Stoneur is fucking heavy as shit, and he'll take everything out if you need to with that. And Earthquake gives you that good coverage against steel types and stuff that you're gonna not be able to hit if you don't have it. So yeah, guys, there you go. Those are my 6 physical sweepers that I suggest for the Pokemon Sword and Shield metagame. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe and turn the notifications on so that way you can keep up to date with all of the videos that we'll be posting. I'm hoping to get some more out soon, hoping for some Wi-Fi battles as well with a couple of friends of mine, but we'll see how that goes in the next couple of days. So guys, if you did enjoy, I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you all in the next one.